Hi everyone, welcome back to another exceptional episode of The Exceptional Show. I'm very happy to be with you today. I've got a very, very special guest that I want to introduce to you. He's been a dear friend. We've known each other for I think the last 2 years or something. He's an authority in his field. He is a very kind person as well, very positive person. So I'm very proud to have him on my show today. Richard, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me on The Exceptional Show.
No, it's my pleasure, and thank you, Francois, because I've just looked at the lineup you've had in your show. I mean, you've had Miss Universe, you've had Mnet, Shark Tank on here, so this is really a privilege for me to be on your show. So thank you.
No, it's a great pleasure. Thanks for making the time. Richard, you started companies, let me see here, RH NLP Life Coaching, RH Share Research, RH Fresh Start Events, all of these companies. But before we talk about all your success and all the companies that you've started, obviously this is not where you started in your life. So I want to go back. Take me back to before you started the companies. What was your life back then?
Oh, yes, are you sure you want to know the dirt?
Yeah, we need to know. We need to get a starting point and then work it backwards.
Yeah, like I tell people, when I look back now, I am not bad at all the mistakes that I made, because that was all I knew at the time. When you know better, you do better. So when I look back now, I can just laugh and smile about it. But basically, when I left university, I received my first job at JOB. And the first paycheck I received, I blew it because I wasn't used to money. I mean, when you're at university, you know, the broke life. and then my first paycheck I received, I just wasted it because I wasn't mature enough. I don't know what was happening. And then I had the wrong friends, just in the wrong environment. And after 2 years, I found myself negative in the debt hole. And I didn't know what to do, who to approach, because I couldn't approach my friends because they were broke also. They were in debt also. So it would have been the blind leading the blind. So then I went researching what is the best way to pick myself out of this mess, because I'm a analyst at heart, so I love researching and reading. And I watched webinars, I read ebooks, I did courses, I got a coach and a mentor, and in 12 months, I wiped out all of my debt, completely clean. But it was the hardest year of my life because I lost a lot of my friends, because I was no longer on the party scene, no longer paying for the drinks or buying rounds. But I learned how to cook, and I met my wife in that year. Yes. So I tell people that it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And now I just live the rest of my life, debt-free for that 1 year of sacrifice I went through. That's why I tell people it is always the sacrifice first and then your reward. Many people want the reward without the sacrifice. But then one night I was riding home from work and I saw a beggar at the robot, and the thought hit me, this beggar is also debt-free. He also has no debt. Because up until that moment, I thought, I've arrived, I wiped out all of my debt, but I wasn't wealthy. And then I went researching which is the highest yielding asset in South Africa. I went researching again, and I just looked at everything, money market, bonds, properties, and what was the number one asset in South Africa was equities, but listed shares. So not inside a product, listed shares on the stock market. And I began to pump money in there each month. And there was a moment where the returns of my share portfolio matched my salary as an investment analyst.
Yes.
And then I resigned because I had no debt. My lifestyle was simple, so I lived off my shares. So I was at 24 at the time, so I technically retired at that age. And then I launched my first business. And the rest is history.
The rest is history, as I say. You talk about, you said something that you saw the beggar next to the street, and you realized there, but you were also debt-free. And I read that you also say that our job market or the jobs in South Africa or the scarcity of jobs in South Africa is not really our problem. Is that our real problem is our skills in South Africa. What was the moment that you realized this, that you need to do something about the skills in South Africa?
Yeah, look, in South Africa, the government wants to put the target on we need jobs. But the reality is the government cannot employ the whole of South Africa. The jobs comes from us, the entrepreneurs. And that's when I realized that if you give a guy a job, he'll never be financially free because of all his implications. And he can lose his job with retrenchment or being fired. But when you have a skill, you can never lose your skill. And when you have a skill, you're empowered to earn residual income for the rest of your life. And that's when I tell people there must be a shift from disposable income to residual income. And that's into the skills, because you will never outperform a person that doesn't stop investing in himself. I'm a man or this woman that upskills every single day will outperform you, outwork you. And so I tell people, if you get your matric and you stop learning, you've capped your income. If you get a degree and you stop learning, you've capped your income. But if you never stop learning, you'll never hit the ceiling of your income, because the more you learn, the more you earn. I mean, there was a story with Warren and Buffett. When he received his first job, he was actually surprised when he got a paycheck. He's like, what are you paying me? Because he was an intern and he was just there to learn. And I mean, now he's the third wealthiest person in the world, all because of that attitude of learning. The more I learn, the more I earn. And that was his whole mindset with how can I empower people with the skill that they never rely on a boss or a job. They are their own asset.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's true. And one of my previous guests, Wouter's name, and you probably know him very well. He's also very, very well known in the industry. He also says that you need to build assets that can give you residual income that is more than your monthly expenses. And when you reach that level, then you're actually financially free. When you've got assets, and as you say, you yourself are an asset, but you need to build your own asset, because you as a person are actually depreciating over time, where other assets are not. And that's why you have your share portfolio. And that leads me to my next question, is that people call you a young and inspiring entrepreneur and a share specialist. So I want to ask you, what exactly is a share specialist?
Yeah, I meet people and they say, Richard, what do you think about the Bitcoin price? And I say, I'm a share specialist. And they're like, yeah, but what do you think about the Bitcoin price? So I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. Okay. So one of his mentors is Warren Buffett. I read his first book since my first year of university. I'm about to read his 11th book. And because we have the same philosophy that we are value investors into shares. So what is a share? It's a business. So we don't invest in the economy. We invest in businesses. We buy businesses. We value the assets. And that's what makes a share specialist. I specialize in the business itself. So I'm really not interested in the inflation rate, in the price of oil or the GDP. That's just noise. As a share specialist, you specialize in the actual business. That's what we're buying. We're buying the business. So I tell the people there's three things that I look at always before I invest in shares, and it's based on the Warren Buffett philosophy of investing. We look at the balance sheets. You have to have a solid balance sheet. Because I tell people, if you have a business and you're not making money, it's not a business, it's a hobby.
Yes, exactly.
And then you can make revenue, but are you making a profit? Because the goal of business is not to make money, it's to make a profit. So that's what we look for in the balance sheet. Is it a profitable business? And can you sustain this over the long term? That's the first thing. The second thing is look at the management team. Who is running the ship? Who is the CEO, COO, his FO, who's the chairman, who's the board? What is their track record? What have they done? And then the last thing we look at is the business model of the company. Is this business model aggressive? Is it innovative? What is their plan to not just maintain the market share, but to increase market share year after year after year? Because as investors, we're not investing for now. We invest into 5 years from now,
Hmm.
10 years from now. So a share specialist, we specialize in the share itself. We ignore all the noise from the scandals and the rumors and the government. We put the focus on the asset that we invest in, which is the business.
So what you're saying is that you control or you manage, you look at the micro of what you can manage, looking at the board, looking at does they make profits, do they have a balance sheet, and what is their business model. That's something you can control, you can look at it and all of that. But things that you can't control, like the economy, GDP, all of that, you ignore that because, like I say, that's in the micro. You can't control that. You look at the other is in the macro. You look in the micro of what you can control.
Yeah, and like most of the people say, oh, Richard, it's a recession now. Economy is bad. I don't want to invest. But if you look at the research, we've had a recession every a decade. It's 1998, 2008, and last year. So recessions are normal. In fact, it's healthy because it regulates overpriced assets. Now, yes, most wealthy people have made their fortunes in recessions. I've made most of my money in a recession. So a bad economy, it is really a buying signal because now you pick up so much assets which are undervalued.
Awesome.
So many people think when they buy their first share, now they have to read the business day, watch business TV, if you watch that stuff, you will actually lose money because of all the negativity that affects your mindset.
Yeah.
We invested into the businesses, and a bad economy is actually a buying signal. Warren says the best time to buy shares is when there's blood in the streets. Yeah. Not real blood, metaphorical blood.
Yes.
That's the best time.
No, that's true. That's true. Now, Richard, I want to just stay on this topic because I think it's important for people to understand the difference between what you are doing, investing, and what so many other people out there are doing is trading in shares and so on. Just quickly, what's the difference between investing and trading and the upsides and downsides of both?
Yeah. Francois, have you watched Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, I did.
The one with the Leo. So that's basically a trader. They are the cowboys of the market, and it's your why in buying that share. So with a trader, your why is speculative. You're buying it based on rumors or stories or patterns, right? Head and shoulders and knees and toes. I don't know what they do because they can't do a proper fundamental analysis, so they speculate. So an investor, you do your research up front. So no matter what happens in the market, you don't panic and sell because you know your why. You bought that share because you saw value. No matter what happens in the market, you never panic and sell, you just hold it. And the market is a cycle. It always will recover. But when you sell out, it's tickets. But if you're still holding it, it will recover. So a trader buys and sells 5 shares in a day. An investor buys and holds for 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years.
Okay.
So the difference is in the why you buy that share. Many people buy shares for the most random reason. They're like, Richard, I like the logo. I like the customer service. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're gonna lose money. You buy it for one reason, fundamentals, based on what? Solid research at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I love shares because I buy shares once, then I just hold it for 6 months because I'm an investor. After 6 months, I make the sale, I take the profit without managing the company, without managing the staff, without managing the stock, without managing operations. It's in the background. It's residual income.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. Because to be a trader, I'll have to watch the markets every day, all day. And that's not a life. To be behind the laptop all day, that's not a life. And if you want to be frank, wealthy people don't mess around being a trader, mess around in the Bitcoin market. No, wealthy people invest into assets over the longer term. And that's the difference. And that's what I tell people. If you want to be wealthy, do what wealthy people do. They don't speculate. They don't mess around. They invest directly into assets.
Yeah.
Real estate, buying businesses, and shares.
Yes. No, that's true. That's true. Is it? You say the why of people and why they are buying shares and so forth. Is it important to have a certain type of personality to invest, or can anyone invest?
Yeah, and I tell people you can buy your own shares. Just make sure you take the training. And then they tell me, no, Richard, I never had maths at school. I had maths literacy. I'm bad with numbers. And then I tell them, that's an excuse. Because Warren says that buying shares, it is only 20% numbers. It is 80% emotion. If you can master 2 emotions in investment, master the fear, master the greed, you'll make a lot of money. So it's mainly emotions and mindset. And with mindset, I tell people that if you have a negative mindset about South Africa and the government and the Rand and Ramaphosa, then don't even buy your first share. You're going to miss out on so much opportunity. But South Africa, if you look at it, it's 1994, it happened, we are here. Yatabu, Mbeki was recalled, we're still here. Zuma came, the Guptas came, we're still here. South Africa is one of the most resilient nations on the planet. If you look at what we've been through.
Load shedding came, we are still here.
And we are still here. We have a generator, we are still here. And if you have that mindset, you will make a lot of money in the stock market. Because the mindset of a wealthy person is every crisis has an opportunity. Every crisis has an opportunity.
Yes.
And so it's basically mindset and emotion. Do your research, but that's 20% of the story.
No, that's very interesting, and that's exactly why I asked you the question about the personality and so forth. And as you say, but that's like in any business. It's the mindset that you need to have to make a success, to do it for the long run, not doing it for a quick buck, and actually see how you can make a positive impact in other people's lives on that. I want to move on a bit, Richard. You run a webinar called, what is it? Why You Are Against Savings. You run that webinar. You have reasons why you are against savings. So give me 3 reasons why healthy people don't save.
Yeah, there was a guy that watched my webinar and said, Richard, I want you on the radio show. So I said, sure, what would you like me to speak about? And he said, speak about does saving suck? So I literally spoke for 1 hour how saving sucks. And I mean, back on your question, the 3 reasons why it's so bad is when the government releases inflation, CPI is 4.9% from 5.1%. That's an absolute lie, because the basket they use to measure inflation is so old and outdated. If you look at what we use now, I mean, Netflix, Apple, Uber, there's an inflation rate of 12 to 15% per year. So if your investment isn't beating inflation, real inflation, your inflation, you're not building wealth. Because in investments, the number 1 term is ROI. What is my return on investment here? But we need to take it a step further. What is my real ROI? So that's ROI from the investment vehicle, less your real inflation. And I've looked at all the research. There is not a savings account in South Africa that beats inflation. So if you're not beating inflation, you're not building wealth. So that's the first reason why I tell people I don't save, because you're not building real wealth.
Yes.
And the second reason is it is not an asset. It is not an asset. So when you look at to build your wealth, it's not luck or fluke. It's an accumulation of assets over time. And a savings account is not an asset because it's not depreciating in value because of inflation.
And all the bank fees.
So if you use something that is in an asset, if you use something that's not an asset, you won't build wealth, because wealth is an accumulation of assets.
Yes.
So the first reason is it doesn't beat inflation. The second reason is it's not an asset. And the third reason is wealthy people don't save. So I don't save.
There you go.
I mean, I've never heard a wealthy person say, I've made a fortune off a fixed deposit account or a notice account or a 32-day. No. Wealthy people are wealthy because of the net value of their assets. I mean, if you look at the top 100 Forbes wealthiest people in the world, none of them have jobs. They are ranked according to the net worth of their assets. And that's why I tell people, like a lot of my friends also want to make their first million. I tell them you'll never get their first million because you don't have assets that's worth $1 million. It's not about the money. The money is an effect of the cause. The cause is assets. You need to get assets. And then we farm those assets every day. We're farmers.
No, that's true. That's true. I think it's great. And as you said, leaving your money in the bank, if I think there was an experiment or people doing that, say, listen, I will put, let's say, 100 Rand or whatever amount of money in the bank, 1,000 Rand, and after a year, what was left, it was actually less than 100 Rand or 1,000 Rand because of all the bank charges and all of that. And in real time, real money, your money is actually worth half almost of what it was a year ago.
And I mean, if you speak about risk, people say, I don't want to invest in shares. I want to put money in the bank because there's less risk. But when you put money in the bank, you expose yourself to the biggest risk of all, which is inflation, because it's a guaranteed risk. In South Africa, they'll never say inflation is 0%. It's a guaranteed risk.
Yeah, true. Listen, Richard, you have got inner circle wealth coaching that you give to your clients, that your clients are part of. What is that exactly, and how can someone get involved?
Yeah, look, it's all about building relationship with you. So on this website, you can buy my courses, my trainings, you can attend my events, that's fine. But I don't know if you'll actually buy your first share. I don't know if you're going to make money. So I made the inner circle because I want to build a relationship with you for at least 12 months. And the goal of every member of my circle is to make the next 12 months the most wealthiest year on the planet. But the truth, for that to happen, you need one word, and that's accountability. I mean, we met Olympic athletes that won a gold medal, and that guy said, I think his name was Steven, and because I was looking at the gold medal, I was like, wow, this is amazing, it's so heavy. And he said, Richard, I wouldn't have won a gold medal if I never had a coach that won a gold medal. I was like, So, and that's in sport. But in business and finances, we want to be financially free without a coach. You need a coach that has already, has done that. Yeah. So it's in the inner circle. I am the coach for 12 months to hold you accountable, but then also I share with you my stock pick every month. So you get my stock pick every month for 12 months, the full research report. So you don't have to research the shares because I have the degree and I have the 10 years experience of buying shares. So you leverage off that. And then also when I sell out, I will mail you the sell signal. Because in South Africa, you can buy research, but no one says when to sell. So that right there is a South African first. So you literally buy the shares that I buy, you sell when I sell, you mirror my profits. And I mean, if you look at the testimonials, we've got some amazing results. And that's what it's about. It's about having a coach to lead you to where you want to be. Because if you don't have a coach that's more successful than you, it's the blind leading the blind. That's as you know.
No, true. No, that sounds very interesting. As I tell my people, you should actually have two types of coaches. You should have a coach that is far ahead of you, that you aspire towards, that you want to be, have the private jet, have the beach house, all of that. But then you also need a coach that is just like 2 or 3 steps in front of you, that knows your situation, that can lead you to just take that 2, 3, 4, 5 steps forward. And that's the type of coaches that I think we need more of in South Africa and in the world. Richard, our time is almost up. Thank you very much that you joined us. One last question that I want to pose to you is, you've had great success. Congratulations on that. I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people. But what were some of the errors that you've made? What did you learn from that? And then a final message that you want to leave our listeners with.
Okay, the errors. Is how long have you got? Look, I think if I look back now, one of the mistakes I made was to not build a system and a structure in place. Because when I launched my first business, the growth was huge and it was successful, but it's what you call the teenage phase of the business. And I never built the system to match the growth. So a lot of leads and clients slipped through the cracks because I never had infrastructure. So what I learned is when you do your budgeting, the amount of money you put in on advertising and branding and all that, put the same amount of money in building systems. Because it's all about the back office that builds business. Without the back office, it's a one-man show, and a one-man show is unsustainable. So I got a proper my systems in place, and I got a coach and a mentor, and then it's just I've never looked back.
Awesome. And a final message that you want to leave our listeners with.
Final message. Look, I have masterminds around South Africa with one message, and this is the message that the hope of the South African economy is not the government, it's not Ramaphosa, it is the entrepreneurs. We are the hope of South Africa, and South Africa needs more entrepreneurs and less employees, because we're the ones who will make the jobs for the economy.
Awesome.
And it begins with moving your mindset away from the paycheck, from a salary, putting it onto investing in yourself every day, that now the market wants to pay money for your skills because you've invested every day. And then that becomes a business and you now employ people. So it starts with just having a mindset of a business owner and not an employee.
Awesome.
So it's all about masterminding with business owners, because we the ones that have the power to change the South African economy.
Sure. Richard, thank you very much. I've truly enjoyed this interview. I learned a lot. I'm going to listen over this interview a few more times. If you enjoyed this interview, really all that I ask with is connect with Richard. I know he's on social media under Richard Harrington, on Facebook, on Instagram. Go to his website, richardharrington.co. Is it .co.za?
Yeah.
richardharrington.co.za. Share this podcast. I think the value that Richard has brought to us today is so incredible that there's so many people that needs to hear this. So share this podcast, share the video. If you subscribed on YouTube, go and subscribe on iTunes. If you're on the audio, go and subscribe on the YouTube video, and share this message to your network. Richard, once again, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me. I truly enjoyed this, and thanks for your inspiration and your leadership that you are giving to other fellow entrepreneurs in South Africa.
Yeah, no, and thank you, Francois. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate the platform, and I love what you're doing with the show. I mean, South Africa needs this, a platform for business owners to share their lessons and their skills. And it was a lot of fun. So thank you, and for your listeners and your viewers. So thank you so much.
No, pleasure. A pleasure.